Here are the top stories for today, March 18, 2020. President Duterte places the entire Philippines under a state of calamity for 6 months due to the coronavirus disease 2019. The tourism sector receives 14 billion pesos in relief aid to mitigate the effects of COVID-19. The President approves the guidelines to be followed during the enhanced community quarantine in Luzon. And the government urges utility firms to defer payments during the enhanced quarantine period. Good day, I'm William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. President Rodrigo Duterte has signed a proclamation placing the entire Philippines under a state of calamity for 6 months due to the coronavirus disease 2019. Duterte stressed that the declaration of a state of calamity nationwide is necessary amid the rise in confirmed cases of COVID-19 in the country. Under the presidential proclamation, all government agencies and LGUs are enjoined to assist and cooperate. They are also mandated to mobilize the necessary resources to undertake critical, urgent, and appropriate disaster response aid and measures in a timely manner to curtail and eliminate the threat of COVID-19. The proclamation also directs all law enforcement agencies with the support from the Armed Forces of the Philippines to undertake all necessary measures to ensure peace and order in affected areas as may be necessary. Following the issuance of state of calamity in the entire Philippines, the Department of Trade and Industry believes that the quarantine birth pains will be fixed in due time. Trade Secretary Ramon Lopez on Tuesday assured that birth pains being encountered at checkpoints will soon be fixed as the government continues to improve the full implementation of the enhanced community quarantine. Lopez made this remark following reports that some transiting cargoes carrying food products were held off at checkpoints despite government guidelines that movement of cargo should be unhampered. He said the government is addressing these problems to ensure stable prices and supply of the basic goods despite placing the entire Luzon under an enhanced community quarantine to boost efforts to prevent the spread of the coronavirus disease 2019. Labor Secretary Silvestre Bello III said employees cannot be forced to report for work during the month-long implementation of the enhanced community quarantine in Luzon due to COVID-19. Bello said employees could use their leave credits for their absences or seek help from DOLE. Bello also told workers that they could lodge before his office a complaint against employers who would force them to report for work. Under Republic Act 11058, workers have the right to refuse to work without threat of reprisal from the employer in case an imminent danger exists in the workplace that may result in illness, injury, or even death. Amid the COVID-19 outbreak in the country, about 97 companies have implemented flexible work arrangements, while 28 establishments have temporarily suspended operations. DOLE allots some 1.3 billion pesos in financial assistance to workers affected by the enhanced community quarantine in the island of Luzon. The tourism sector will receive a large chunk of the 27.1 billion package set by the government to cushion the impact of COVID-19. The tourism sector is said to be the most affected sector to date. The Department of Finance said a 14 billion aid from the Tourism Infrastructure and Enterprise Zone Authority, or TIEZA, has been earmarked for various programs and projects of the Department of Tourism. It said about 3.1 billion pesos to be sourced from PAGCOR, PCSO, and ADB will be used to purchase test kits, among others. Other fiscal support package includes 1.2 billion from SSS to be used as unemployment benefits for workers from the private sector, 3 billion pesos scholarship grant to be implemented by TESDA, 2.8 billion pesos under the Department of Agriculture Agricultural Credit Policy Council for up to 5,000 pesos loans at zero interest rate for smallholder farmers and fisher folk in calamity and disaster areas. 1 billion pesos for DTI's pondo sa pagbabago at pag-asenso, microfinancing special loan package for affected micro, small, and medium enterprises, and 2 billion pesos initial budget by the DOLE for social protection programs for workers. Dominguez said these relief packages are designed to ensure that funding is available for the efforts of the DOH to contain the spread of COVID-19. The tourism sector is receiving 14 billion pesos to spend on programs and infrastructure to help mitigate the impact of COVID-19 for 3 years. The tourism industry, which contributed 12.7% of the nation's gross domestic product, was the hardest hit sector since the COVID-19 outbreak. From February to March alone, the estimated foregone revenue amounted to more than 40 billion pesos. Tourism Secretary Bernadette Romulo Puyat said Tuesday that to prepare for the return of regular operations, the government must add funds for the construction and rehabilitation of tourism infrastructure. Among the identified projects are 5 billion pesos worth of infrastructure in tourist destinations, night rating of airports, sewer treatment plants, and improvement in road access. All government offices are urged to identify skeletal workforce, and health workers are provided free shuttles. Ruth Abigita Carlos has the story.
Malacanang is asking all government agencies to identify their respective skeletal workforces as the country remains under enhanced community quarantine to prevent the spread of the coronavirus disease 2019 or COVID-19. Cabinet Secretary Carlo Nograles said the PCOO will be in charge of giving accreditation IDs to facilitate the speedy tracking of persons exempted from the quarantine. He noted that agencies have until Saturday to secure their accreditation. Only those who bear the ID will be exempted from the quarantine requirement. Meanwhile, the Interagency Task Force on Emerging Infectious Disease or IATF has directed the Department of Transportation to provide free shuttle services to health workers during the Luzon-wide enhanced community quarantine period. The DOTR initially deployed 10 buses to 2 identified pick-up points, the Parañaque Integrated Terminal Exchange or PITX, and the BFCT East Metro Transport Terminal in Marikina City. The DOTR ensured that buses would comply with the DOH containment protocols, which include the observance of social distancing, body temperature checks, and regular disinfecting of vehicles. Another good news, the Manila City Government opened its Infectious Disease Control Center on Tuesday evening at Santa Ana Hospital. In a Facebook post, Manila Mayor Isko Moreno said they had a simple ceremony for the opening of its new center. Moreno said the new center will be helpful in accommodating patients with possible COVID-19 infection. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Ruth Abigita Carlos.
Still to come, the President approves the guidelines to be followed during the enhanced community quarantine in Luzon. Tacloban City orders a no dine-in policy and liquor ban in restaurants. More on these when the PNA Newsroom continues.
Sa matinding laban natin sa Coronavirus Disease 2019, sugpuin din natin ang pagkalat ng fake news. Huwag magbahagi ng impormasyon na hindi tiyak ang pinagmulan. I-check mabuti ang source ng balita. Kumuha lamang ng impormasyon mula sa mga official channel ng Department of Health. Huwag magpadala sa maling balita, basta't sama-sama at laging handa. Kaya natin to. Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP at ng himpilang ito. Tandaan ang tamang paraan ng paghuhugas at paglilinis ng kamay upang makaiwas sa iba't ibang karamdaman. Basain ng tubig ang mga kamay at sabunin. Unang sabunin ang mga palad at ang likod ng mga kamay. Kuskusin na maigi ang pagitan ng mga daliri at maging ang mga kuko. Isunod ang pagitan ng mga hinlalaki at kuskusin ng paikot ang mga dulo ng mga daliri sa magkabilang palad. Banlawang mabuti ang mga kamay sa malinis na tubig at patuyuin ang mga kamay gamit ang single-use towel o air dryer. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa, kaya natin to! Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP at ng himpilang ito. Pangalagaan ang sarili laban sa Coronavirus Disease 2019. Hanggat maaari, umiwas sa mataong lugar. Iwasang hawakan ang ilong at bibig, maging malinis sa katawan at ugaliin ang wastong paghuhugas ng kamay. Takpan ang ilong at bibig kung uubo o babahing. Umiwas sa mga taong nagpapakita ng sintomas ng coronavirus disease gaya ng lagnat, ubo at sipon. Magsuot ng face mask kung kinakailangan. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa. Kaya natin to. Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP at ng himpilang ito.
President Duterte has approved a bulletin that contains the basic do's and don'ts during the one-month implementation of the enhanced community quarantine in the entire Luzon. Under the guidelines, everyone must stay at home. Only one person per household is allowed to buy or access basic necessities. Exemptions are issued for employees of establishments involved in the production, processing, and distribution of basic necessities. PNP, AFP, and other uniformed personnel, and those who are working in the health industry. Only accredited media are allowed to go out. The exempted personnel shall present the following: ID, proof of residence, certificate of employment, delivery receipt for those transporting goods to and from the quarantine area, authorizations and certifications. Meanwhile, class remains suspended at all levels. No work in the private and government sector except for some exceptions. Those who are at high risk should not go out. These are the senior citizens 60 years and above, those with pre-existing medical condition, and pregnant women. Do not ask non-exempted individuals to accompany you to your workplace. Do not loiter and do not intimidate or resist persons in authority. In our business news, Philippine financial markets are allowed to reopen after getting an exemption from the Interagency Task Force on the Enhanced Community Quarantine. The Philippine Stock Exchange, Philippine Dealings and Exchange Corporation, Philippine Depository and Trust Corporation, and Philippine Securities Settlement Corporation suspended operations on Tuesday in line with government measures to counter a further rise in COVID-19 cases. In a joint statement released early Wednesday, the Department of Finance and the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas said the trading platforms assured the authorities that necessary safeguards to ensure the safety of their employees and the community they interact with are in place. Finance Secretary Carlos Dominguez III said the resumption of operations depended on officials of these institutions. The Department of Trade and Industry in Antique assured on Tuesday consumers of an adequate supply of basic necessities in supermarkets and retail stores. The DTI said they noted an adequate supply of goods during their monitoring of supermarkets and stores throughout the province on Monday, with goods being delivered this week. Cardinal added DTI is monitoring the supply of goods in all 18 municipalities of the province in support to the executive order issued by Antique Governor Rodora Cadiao to strengthen measures to contain the spread of COVID-19. The EO ensures that there will be no food shortage in the province. The governor appealed for consumers not to resort to panic buying because this could create an artificial shortage of goods. The Provincial Board of Ilocos Norte undergoes a 14-day home quarantine. Meanwhile, Tacloban City prohibits dine-in and liquor in restaurants. More on these and other news around the provinces from Lade Cabagani.
All members of the Ilocos Norte Provincial Board and the Vice Governor have volunteered to undergo a 14-day mandatory quarantine at home amid the coronavirus disease 2019 threat. Vice Governor Cecilia Araneta Marcos signed Monday the memorandum on the mandatory quarantine in compliance with the executive order of Governor Matthew Joseph Manotoc. The board had previously gone to Metro Manila. In the event there are pressing issues that need to be addressed during the 14-day home quarantine of the board members, Marcos said they can always call for a special session. Meanwhile, the city government of Tacloban has imposed a no dine-in policy and liquor ban in restaurants to protect the public from exposure and infection with COVID-19. The directive issued by Mayor Alfred Romualdez asked restaurants, snack houses, coffee shops, cafes, and diners to only accept drive-thru and takeout orders. Likewise, the selling, buying, taking, or consumption of liquor will be temporarily prohibited from March 15 to March 31. In Antique, the Cibalo Municipal Government is installing 12 wash areas in the plaza and in other places frequented by people to encourage them to hand wash as prevention against COVID-19. 6 washing areas are installed around the plaza, 2 in the municipal hall, 2 in the market, and 2 in the health center. The municipal government is also implementing curfew, which started Tuesday night, March 17. Meanwhile, North Cotabato Governor Nancy Catamco on Tuesday placed the entire province on preemptive lockdown against the threats of coronavirus disease 2019. Curfew hours are enforced from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. from March 18 to April 14. People with travel history from Metro Manila and abroad with confirmed cases of COVID-19 are subject to self-quarantine for 14 days. Classes and all school activities in all levels are suspended from March 18 to April 24, 2020. Social distancing and mass transportation will be practiced. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Lid Kabagani.
Up next, the government urges utility firms to defer payments during the enhanced quarantine in Luzon. And household mothers in Ilocos Norte make face masks for health service frontliners. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders.
Alamin kung paano ang tamang pagsusuot ng surgical mask. Una, hawakan ang mask sa strap at siguruhing natatakpan nito ang inyong bibig at ilong. Tandaan, ang may kulay na bahagi ng mask ang dapat nasa labas. Ito lamang ang tamang paraan ng pagsuot nito. Ihulma ang nose piece o maliit na metallic strip ayon sa hugis ng inyong ilong. Iwasan ang paghawak sa inyong ilong at bibig. Kung marumi na ang mask, hubarin ito gamit ang strap at itapon ito sa isang basurahan. Siguruhin ang maayos na paghuhugas ng kamay gamit ang sabon at tubig. Ang surgical mask ay dapat gamitin ng mga pasyenteng may sakit sa baga o mga taong mayroong ubo, sipon at lagnat, mga nag-aalaga sa mga may sakit, at mga healthcare at frontline workers. Maaari ring magsuot nito kung kayo ay pupunta sa matataong lugar. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa, kaya natin to! Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP, at ng himpilang ito. Alamin ang tamang paraan ng pag-ubo upang mapigilan ang paglaganap ng coronavirus disease 2019. Ugaliing magdala ng panyo o tissue. Kung uubo o babahing, takpan ang buong ilong at bibig gamit ang panyo o tissue. Kung walang dalang panyo o tissue, maaaring gamitin ang braso na pantakip. Kung nakararamdam na kailangan umubo o bumahing, agad na dumistansya sa mga tao sa paligid. Huwag dumura kung saan-saan, gumamit ng tissue at itapon sa basurahan. Ugaliin ang paghuhugas ng kamay at paggamit ng alcohol o hand sanitizer upang mamatay ang mikrobyo. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa, kaya natin to! Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP, at ng himpilang ito. Alamin ang mga dapat gawin sa lugar ng trabaho laban sa coronavirus disease 2019. Ang mga kumpanya ay dapat magbigay ng face mask sa kanilang mga empleyado. Bukod dito, magbigay kaalaman din patungkol sa COVID-19. Siguraduhin malinis ang kapaligiran. Maglagay ng sabon at hand sanitizer sa mga palikuran. Siguraduhin ligtas at nalutong maigi ang mga pagkain sa kantina. Obserbahan ang kalusugan ng mga empleyado at katrabaho. Kung sakali man na mayroon silang sintomas ng coronavirus disease, gaya ng lagnat, ubot sipon at hirap sa paghinga, ay agad ipasuri sa doktor. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa, kaya natin to! Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP, at ng himpilang ito.
The government urges utility companies to postpone payments during the enhanced community quarantine in Luzon. Trade Secretary Ramon Lopez on Tuesday said they are trying to work on deferring some of the costs like payment of utility bills. He added that payment for amortization and loans shall be put off, while lowering interest rates shall also be considered. On Monday, Manila Electric Company or Meralco announced it will provide a 30-day payment extension for bills due from March 1st to April 14, 2020. Prime Water, a water service provider in Bulacan, also gives payment extension for 30 days for bills due from March 17 to 31st. Lopez said the government is ready to provide relief for Filipinos as restrictions due to the enhanced community quarantine prevent employees to go to their jobs and earn. Finance Secretary Carlos Dominguez III announced that there is a 27 billion peso package from government agencies to help businesses and workers affected by COVID-19. Beneficiaries of the Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino program will continue to receive their grants and rice subsidy through their cash cards amid enforcement of the enhanced community quarantine in Luzon. The Department of Social Welfare and Development on Tuesday clarified that only 4 peace activities that require mass gatherings are suspended. Program beneficiaries with EuroPay, MasterCard, and Visa cash cards may withdraw their grants on March 24, 26, 28, and April 4. Beneficiaries may also use their EMV cards in establishments that receive payment through point of sale or POS. Meanwhile, DSWD said it is exploring alternative means to distribute cash grants to beneficiaries who have yet to receive their EMV cash cards. DSWD said it continues to look into different modes of providing social services without prejudice to public health and safety. In Ilocos Norte, some silent working local heroes are getting attention for their service in the fight against COVID-19. A group of household mothers are working day and night just to provide essential services in times of health emergency. They are the makers of washable face masks, which they provide for free to frontliners and sell it to those who are in need for a considerable amount. Unlike some businessmen and online sellers who are taking advantage of the situation, they express happiness in helping others. Police Master Sergeant Noel Abad assists these moms as he facilitates the transfer and delivery of these essential commodities while the Luzon-wide enhanced community quarantine is ongoing. Let's take another look at today's biggest stories. President Duterte places the entire Philippines under a state of calamity for 6 months due to the coronavirus disease 2019. The tourism sector receives 14 billion pesos in relief aid to mitigate the effects of COVID-19. The President approves the guidelines to be followed during the enhanced community quarantine in Luzon. And the government urges utility firms to defer payments during the enhanced quarantine period. Thank you for watching another episode of the PNA Newsroom. To check more news content, check our webpage or head onto the Philippine News Agency's Facebook and Twitter accounts. For more stories about the government and how it serves Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. We are shown on the pages of the PCOO and its attached agencies. Also watch us on television on PTV4 and IBC 13. And as we go on to the 3rd day of our enhanced community quarantine, we urge everybody to follow the guidelines of do's and don'ts so that we may be able to combat this virus in the soonest time possible. More than any other time, we urge people to work together to help each other. Regardless of your beliefs, regardless of your stations in life, we are all fighting the same war. And let's win this. And that's your daily dose of the biggest stories that you need to know. From the PNA Newsroom, I am William Theo. Good day.